welcome to Lessons Learnt. I'm Sherry, this is Blue, and we are here to talk about next year. What are we going to do next year? Oh my goodness, the plans have been floating around in my head for months, probably since the middle of 2025. I've been thinking of all the things. I've been taking in all of your suggestions and ideas and requests, and of course I cannot fulfill all of them, but I will try to do most of them. Yes, it's going to be a fun-filled and activity-filled year over here in the she shed. Everything's tentative, of course, because I'm one person. I would love to do all the things. If I could do everything that I wanted to do, I wouldn't have any fabric. So that just kind of tells you how limited I really am in getting a lot done. But I have big aspirations always. And I think that's good because, that keeps it interesting and it keeps you anticipating things. And, it's just kind of good for your mental state with quilting and sewing. So we're going to be doing a lot of that stuff. A lot of the stuff that you guys have mentioned and that you've heard me mention. So first of all, though, I wanted to spend some time reviewing a little bit this past year. Now the year's not over, but we're getting awfully close and we just can't wait any longer to start putting down some real plans for the new year. But let's take a look at what we've done. The proverbial we, me and Blue, what we've done in the last year, how we felt about it, how we've done. I had hashtag quilt health this year. So I know I haven't reviewed that much. I think I gave you maybe first quarter, and maybe a second quarter, but I haven't really updated anything since then. So I had my 7 points and hashtag quilt health, how to have good quilt health. And that's a relative term. That's going to be different for each person, how they view what that would be. But I had 7 points that were pertinent to me and my situation. I just want to go through each one of them kind of quickly and let you know how I feel like I've done on those things and what I might carry over to next year, that sort of thing. Now, the first one was physical health, and I had talked pretty positively about, you have to take care of your physical health to have good quilt health, because you have to feel like sewing and quilting every day. And, I started out the year fairly decent, maybe for about a month, and then I don't know what happened. I just kind of lost interest totally in taking care of my health. And so, I just couldn't think about it. I just couldn't wrap my head around what do I need to do. You kind of know what you need to do, but how do you get to the point where you're doing it? So, failed miserably. So let's just get that one out of the way. So I'll talk about that again in the 2026 one. Number 2, spending. Spending I did way better with this past year, and the reason I know that I did way better is because I started out with a 0 savings account. Yes, I had an account that was 0 balance. So I know I did better on my spending because I now have $5,000 in my savings account. That was my goal for the year, and I met that this month. So I'm going to shoot for another 5,000 next year and try not to be digging around in that money to use it for something I think I might need or whatever. So I'd like to kind of keep up on that. There again, that's next year's thing as well. Self-control, well, the self-control goes hand in hand with that, because where we use self-control in quilting and taking care of our quilt health is not overbuying and not buying unnecessarily, using what we have and that sort of thing. Many ways to accomplish that, have that self-control. One thing that I have done is when I have a project that maybe I have a fat quarter bundle or something that I'm using for it, I'll use what I have on hand for the background, the backing, the binding, the maybe a color that I still need to add to the pattern. I used what I had here for it. I didn't go and order more fabric. I won't say I never did, but most of the time I tried real hard to find something that would work with what I have without going on a site and buying one of the other fabrics that I needed from that line. So many times you've got it right there. Just go ahead and use what you have, and that way your quilt is yours. There's no other quilt like that. So, get close on the pattern, pattern of the fabric, the color of the fabric, and it looks just as good as if you bought the actual fabric you were supposed to use. But it's different. It's yours. It's a little bit different. So I like that, and self-control has helped me to do that sort of thing instead of buying more fabric in the line. Staying in motion has been pretty good this year. I've never been bad at keeping things in motion, but I still only have those two Harriet's Journey and State Stars that I've never gotten back to. Those are my true UFOs that I have, but everything else has been, I've been keeping it, in motion or being worked on, being a work in progress instead of a UFO. So things are staying the same there. Nothing has changed with the UFOs, however. Giving was one. Now let's talk about the Blues Batik campaign, if you will. This year here on the channel, we donate money to the Humane Society, which is now called the World Humane Society. I make a quilt. You guys donated fabric pieces to it. I made quilts and we eBay auctioned them. We got $254 for one of them and $260 for the other, for a total of $514, which was very similar to the year before. And then we also had a couple of people that donated funds for the postage and other administrative cost. $125 was donated there, and the $25 was used for postage. The $100 was actually donated directly to the Humane Society through the mail. So $639 is what we donated to the Humane Society this year, unless some of you have done your own quilt auctions or donated yourself. I know, some of you probably do that, and you don't have to reveal that you're doing that here on the channel, but if you are, and if you would like to share what you donated, you're welcome to do so in the comments. I'm not going to make anybody do that. But, it's on par for what we normally do. I was hoping to get another quilt, either one that I had made from my stash of quilts, or make another Blues Batik. I don't think that's going to happen this year, because we only have about 21 days left before the end of the year. I don't think I can wedge that into the rest of my schedule this year. Not to say I couldn't make one of those quilts in a week. I probably could, but that's probably all I would be doing night and day. So that's good. We were kind of hoping we'd get it up to 1,000 or something. It didn't happen. It's okay. We're going to keep on with that. The difference with Blues Batik, I'll tell you in the 2026 stuff. The the way we're going to handle it next year. It's not different really, but I'm going to talk about it. Also, we always have random acts of gift giving, and I made lots of little table toppers and gave those away just to random people as I ran into them. Some known, some unknown, and that's always fun. So that's a way to get rid of some scraps and leftovers from projects that you don't want to store in your sewing area. And I know I'm limited in my sewing area. It's nice to have this little building that I'm in. I'm in part of the building. I don't even have the whole building. There's another little section over there that's gardening stuff. Has a separate entrance. But, you know, running a YouTube channel and making projects one after the other and simultaneously calls for a lot of things, and I'm pretty tight in here. It's comfortable. I keep it comfortable. Otherwise, I wouldn't come up here and sew. If it was a mess all the time and there was no place for anything, I couldn't function in that. So I've got things where I want them, and I keep them at bay as far as, you know, someone told me the other day, hey, there's some grunge on sale at such and such shop. And I was like, yeah, I'd like to buy that grunge on sale. But guess what? My grunge bin is full. I can barely get the lid closed. It will close. But I barely can get the lid closed, so I can't buy any more grunge. That's my personal rule for myself. So anyway, I don't know how that got off of giving. Oh, I was talking about getting rid of scraps and extra fabrics that you have that you know, if you put them in a bin, you may not see them again for years. Yeah, you know. And then the 7th one was to enjoy. Make sure that I enjoyed everything I was doing. I would say for the most part, I enjoyed everything that I was doing this year. I don't remember if I had a project that I just absolutely hated. It happens sometimes. I can't think of anything that I did that I just really, really didn't want to do. Now, some projects, you know, you get in the middle of them and you're like, oh, this isn't as fun as I had high hopes for, but, you know, I went ahead and did it. So, that's normal. Can't think of anything that I just hated. I enjoyed everything that I did. So I had a no by January, I had a no by July, and then the rest of the year I also had my spending under control with use of self-control and boundaries. Boundaries was the other one. That's where you don't get out of your grunge bin. You don't buy grunge and let it sit on top of your grunge bin. At least that's my rule. So I did that. I don't have anything overflowing where it shouldn't be. Okay, so let's just go on, get into the nitty-gritty of 2026. Are you ready? Well, the channel is the channel, right? I am me, you know what I like, you know what I do. You know, those things aren't going to change. I have no intentions of changing that. It's what I like to do. And, you know, if you don't mind listening to me talk Monday, you know, about rambling about things that I've purchased or acquired or, you know, what's going on with quilt things, you know, I'm going to keep that like that. Everybody seems to like that. I'm going to keep Finish It Friday just the way it is. And then Wednesday is probably where you'll see the most change. I talked earlier in the year about doing miniature quilts, and I still want to do that. I'm going to do that, and that will take place on the second Wednesday of every month. So what's going to happen is you're going to get out your little scraps, your little leftovers from a project. They don't have to be little. You can always cut them to be little. And we're going to make 20 by 20 or less projects with those. 20 inches by 20 inches. they will not be written patterns. It will be the video. I will put the measurements of the pieces in the description box. You can copy and paste those somewhere if you want to. I will probably put a name to each one and those details in the description box, and then you can just copy paste it, print it off, and put it with your patterns if you want. But you will have to watch the video to be able to see how it goes together if you need help with that. So that's what we're going to do. I have, you have those little zipper bags with, odd and end scraps in them. You just can't let go. It's something a little bit expensive, like Tula or Cave or Tilda, or it could be anything. Really, it will be anything. The projects will not be hard. They won't be, intermediate to advanced. At most, they would be beginner to intermediate. Yeah, because I don't have time to do something really, really complicated for one of those little quilts. So, occasionally there might be an applique piece that I will draw, and you can download the PDF for it. But patterns themselves, I was talking about patterns Monday of this week and how patterns are hard to write. Everybody has their own way they like to follow patterns, and you try to get it right and very comprehensive sometimes, and then it's like, well, this is too hard because there's so many words. Or you don't have enough words. It's like, well, they need to put that in there because I didn't know. I was just complaining about that, wasn't I? From the splendid pattern. So I think if you would give me the grace of just having a video tutorial for those, that would help me immensely to be able not only to be able to complete one of those small miniature quilts each month, but also to, just kind of keep all the other projects going in my life here. I will be having a lot of personal projects going on that won't actually, I probably won't be doing any like teaching sessions with them. I might, but I have several that I want to do. Some of them are projects that you can no longer find the materials for, but I have acquired in one way or another, and so you will see those. But it won't be as interactive with you as it will be for the miniature quilts, because you will get your own video on those. Now, someone asked me if I would please have a block of the month next year. I'm still trying to work that out in my mind when that would be. Would it be what it would be and when it would be is what I'm trying to figure out. Do I want to do a block of the month from the past, from a magazine, or do I want to make up myself a block of the month? Time is getting short for that, unless I did something that was more along the 9-month or less time period. So I will continue to try to examine things here to see how I can fit that in for next year. Because, usually if one person wants it, there's another 10 or 20 that want it. So I don't want to leave that out. I want to make all your dreams come true. I know I can't do that. I know. And I want to do all that stuff too. But, time. The time, we need more time. We need double. And if we did have double, we would be saying we needed triple. So, okay. So another thing that we're going to do for next year. Let me see if blue will go down, because I kind of need both arms. There you go, buddy. Lay down. Lay down. Good boy. Lay down. let me show you some things that I want to do this year first. I have this pattern that a friend let me borrow, and I want to make this, but I don't know what I want to make it out of yet. Y'all have seen this. It's a pen and paper pattern, and it's those bows. She made one. It was gorgeous, and I just want to make one. I don't necessarily want to make one in the colors that she made it, because it was for someone else, and I don't know. I just love the pattern, and I want to make it out of something different. So anyway, that's one. And then I have, remember this? This is called Cottage something. You know me. I never remember the names of stuff. It's Renee Nanaman. I'm starting to really like her as a designer. I really, really am. Wildflowers. Yeah, I think it's called Wildflowers, but you remember this. It's Andover, and I've got this nice big fat quarter bundle that goes with it, and I'm going to try to do it in this. And a friend bought this for me and sent it to me, or sent me hers, I don't know. But I've just got some great friends. Great friends. So I'm gonna do that in that pink, purple, taupe, red. Can you imagine it? Just imagine that. I like this too, this reproduction, but this is kind of reproduction fabric too, but it's just in a different color palette. So that's a project I want to make. Another one that I want to do is you saw me talk about this. I'm going to do this. This is going to take some time. That's the paper roses. And then also, hold on just a second. I'm going to do this. Now this is from the Quilt Show, and it's their 2025 block of the month. I know it looks hard, doesn't it? It probably is. I don't think it is. I looked at the instructions. You just make a few blocks a month. It is a block of the month program. Now, you will notice I have all the fabrics for it. Hold on just a second before that. I have all the fabrics for it, thanks to my friend who knows how to scout down fabric that's supposedly no longer in existence. I have the fabric for it. She uses this method to organize her projects. An extra wide binder with pockets in it. Now I'm using a different pocket than she's using. So each month has the pattern in it, and then you can slip your blocks down in there as you get done. Okay? I'm going to try this out and see if I like it, just with this one project. You know, I use bins, and I think I will still use bins for projects, but I want to see what this does for me and decide if this is something that could possibly substitute for a bin. Now, if you have a boxed project, like it comes with a box, you could have this in the box. You know, your fabric could be in the box, and then you'll have your project beside of it. You could also stick up something down here that says Laurel Ridge. That's what this is. So I'm going to be making this and testing out this organization style. See how I like it. You can also, and I think this is what she does. Well, I know it is. She uses those zip bags you can get on Amazon. They're like the ones you can cross stitch on. They have that webbing on them, and with the zippers. And she punches holes in the bottom, the 3-hole punch, and puts those in there. But I didn't like that they stuck out. To get the right size, I had to get the size that, to get the right size for the fabric. they stuck out of the all around, and I didn't like that. So I went for something smaller. So I'm kind of testing out her idea, but with a twist. See, I've got each of my patterns in there, and once I get my blocks done, I can put them in there. Now, y'all know I like to hang my blocks too, so I don't know how that's going to work. Now, if you had a lot of applique pieces, this would be good to keep them in, see? So, I don't know. Maybe some of you already do this method. You can tell me how you like it, but I'm going to try this out and be talking to you about that as the year rolls on, because this will take a year. And this fabric, you know, there's so much of it. A person could sit down someday, like a whole day or a couple of days, and cut out all your fabrics and stick your fabrics in there. And then maybe it wouldn't, I don't know if it would get too, it might get too fat. I don't know. So anyway, I'm going to be messing around with that. What else? There's more. There's more things we're going to do. Okay, so I told you that Blues Batik for the Humane Society. I am going to continue on with the supply of fabric that I have until I have no more. So I'm not going to be asking for a collaboration with you on Blues Batiks, because you've already done it, and I've got plenty there. I can make at least one more quilt. And then also I have some left over from when we were doing the rectangles with the stripe. I have some of those too. So I might do a fusion quilt with those two and use some of those up and then see what I have. So I'm not going to be asking for fabric from you for that. But I did want to do some sort of collaboration thing with you. Now, about 3 years ago, we did the red and white quilt. And all of you sent me a little piece of red. And we did this. We did this quilt. And this is our quilt. This quilt will never go anywhere because it's ours, yours, and mine. So this is a pattern off of Andover called Alexandria. And you can see, depending on where you put the colors, how it changes the way it looks. It's a very cool quilt. I'd like to do another 2-color quilt. So that was just one of those days I was talking to you back then, and I said we should do a red and white quilt. We should do a 2-color quilt. And so we just started doing it. We did it, but I haven't done one since. So I want to do another one. What do you think? How about this? This is called Sunny Days. And I think sunny days are ahead for 2026. So how about you send me your yellow? And all I'm going to need this time is a 5-inch square. I don't want you to send me a whole bunch of different yellows that you have. You can send a couple, 3 if you want. Whatever fits in an envelope and is not extra postage. But I'm pretty sure if you put one 5-inch square in there, it's not going to cost you more than 1 stamp. And it'll just be envelopes. Yeah? Sound good? Yellow. Yellow. This is called Sunny Days. It's from Lamb Farm Designs, designed by Jenny Jo Lamb. There it is. So I looked at all of the cutting that you have to do, and a 5-inch square will do the trick. Now I will provide the background and the border, backing and binding. Okay, so all you have to do is send me a 5-inch square of your yellow. Just pick your favorite yellow or your least favorite yellow that you don't want in there anymore, and we're going to stick it in this quilt. So that's the collaboration you and I project for this year. Hold on just a second. There's just one more thing I want to run by you. Okay, so I've had my long arm for 2 years now. I don't know how many quilts I've quilted on it, but it's probably been somewhere around the 50 to 100. And I'm way more comfortable with it now than I was at the beginning, obviously. I'm going to put this on a trial basis. I want to put an offer out there for anyone who wants their long arm quilted by me to reach out to me. Now, it's going to be very informal at first because I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know how much time it's going to pull away from normal things. But what you need to do is contact me through LessonsLearnt email, and that's lessonslearnt2021@gmail.com. We can talk about all of the details of what I have in mind. If you just want a price quote, we can do that and start there. If price is the issue for you, we can start there. I will not be doing any custom quilting. Custom quilting is when you say, okay, I want these squares to have this sort of a design in it, and I want this border to have a different design in it, and so on and so forth. Not doing in custom quilting, I'm not doing any free motion quilting. What I will be doing is the computerized edge-to-edge designs, all over designs. So if you're looking for someone to occasionally long arm a quilt for you, contact me and we'll see what we can do. Now, I won't be able to have people who say, I have 10 quilts. Can I just send them all to you? No, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be one at a time, possibly 2 at a time, just to save postage. But I don't want to turn it into a legit business just yet. So I know that sounds crazy. That sounds crazy of how to start a business, but I'm not starting a business. I'm just offering it. I'm not starting a long arm business. I'm just offering it for hire. So if you want me to long arm your quilt and you need a quote for it, just to compare with what's going on locally, you might want to check me out. I'm going to be very limited with it, both on how many I will accept in a month's time, what kind of designs I want to use. Of course, you've got an idea maybe of what design you want on it, but we're going to talk, and I'm going to give you 3 designs. You pick one. That's what I'm going to do. I don't know if you saw Tammy Ernest video the other day. She was talking about density, which is, how dense quilting do you want? Do you want a lot of thread on your quilt, or do you want it kind of open and airy? And she was talking about how some of what you would think are the more common classic designs are sometimes the hardest to line up. And I definitely don't want to mess up somebody's quilt or have to spend days ripping out stitches. I just don't have that kind of time. But, you can usually get around it. Like, I think she was even mentioning about a orange pill design. Old classic, they used to do it by hand. You can get it on the tablets now, but it's super hard to line up because those have to touch. And if you roll that quilt up just a certain way and it moves just a little bit, you might have a little crossover there. And she said she thought she would never learn how to do that. I'm not there either. She's learned it, but I am not there. I'm not there. So even a Baptist fan, I could do a Baptist fan, but I can't do the traditional Baptist fan. I can only do the modified one. It looks like a Baptist fan. You saw it on the Pick and Mix. And you can make it in all different types of density. But the regular Baptist fan has to, all those little rows of stitching have to touch each other from row to row. And that is way, way harder than you can ever imagine. I don't know how. I don't know how she finally was able to do it and admitted that she still uses one of the cheap patterns once in a while. So there's some patterns that look like Orange Peel and Baptist Fan, but they're easier to line up because there's a space in it. So I don't know if you understood that or not, but my struggle is I'm not there on being able to do a traditional Orange Peel or Baptist Fan. But I can get you something that will look really good that's very close to it. That's my point. So that's my offer to you, and this is something new this year. I don't know where it's going to go. It might have to get nipped in the bud right in the beginning, or it might turn out to be a great thing for you and I. So just email me. You must email me. And if you can send a picture of your quilt as well. And, you know, there's no paperwork you have to fill out and sign and, you know, promise me this and that, and I promise you this and that. We're just going to communicate and see if we're a good fit for each other on your project, and see what goes from there. So Mark's been wanting me to do that, and, you know, I'm not usually the pessimistic one, but in this case I'm a little more guarded with this idea. And so I'm going to try it and see where it goes, see how limited I have to make it work for me and my channel and the other work that I have to do. So it's going to be a big year. 2026 is long arming, the yellow and white 2-color quilt, the miniature quilts, possibly a block of the month, continuing on with Blues Batiks, plus all my other projects. This is another thing I want to mention. In 2026, I probably will not be participating in some of the common sew-alongs that there are out there from Fat Quarter Shop and different places. Riley Blake, you know, they always have all these sew-alongs, and they're wonderful for, you know, finding a project to do, but I've got plenty of projects to do, and I don't need to be hunting for more that I kind of like. Like the blockheads, I used that Tilda fabric left over from another project. That was fine, but probably, if I had to say it, that was one of the ones I didn't really enjoy doing that much. It was interesting, but, you know, some of those blocks were just kind of off the wall. And some of them were kind of hard. Some of them, they had all kinds of methods of piecing in them, and I'm looking at it. That's why I'm saying looking that way while I'm talking. The Riley Blake Challenge, not going to do that. Not going to do blockheads, not going to do socialites. Anything else that pops up that everybody's doing, I'm not doing. There's too many other people doing it anyway. So, you know, if you want to see those projects, visit a channel that's doing that. Or the host, you know, whoever's hosting it. Watch their videos for instruction on how to do those. We will be finished with Garden Charm here in January. So that will be out of the way. I will still have my block of the month from Fat Quarter Shop, the Designer Mystery. That will go through April or May, and also my Sew Sampler box block of the month. So those will go to around that time, and then they'll start over again. And I will be doing those too. So I've already signed up for Designer Mystery block of the month for 2026, and I have no plans to cancel my Sew Sampler box. It's in there. I'm going to do it. I paid for it, the pattern, so I'm probably going to do it. Unless the first pattern is just so bad that I don't have the will to do it. I might wait until some other patterns come out before I decide, okay, I am going to do this, and just catch up. So also the Jolly Bar sampler, Jolly Bar 5 sampler is about to wrap up too, so that'll be out of the way. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at my blocks over there hanging, see what I have. So those two things won't change. The Designer Mystery Sew Sampler blocks of the month. I'm not going to do any other people's blocks of the months unless I do one, which is, like I said, still kind of up in the air. Okay, so let's go back. I didn't really have a hashtag ready for this video. Someone made a cute suggestion. You know how I said the other day 2026 is going to be new and exciting, but same stuff I've been doing, but new and shiny and bright. Shiny, new and bright. Shiny and bright. That's very positive, isn't it? Hashtag shiny and bright. I'm going to write it down. If I change my mind, I'll let you know. Shiny and bright. Shiny and bright. Okay. So we can be shiny and bright in our physical health. I am going to do something about that. You know, January is when people either quit doing things or start doing things that they should for their health. And I have a plan. I'm not going to talk about my physical health much because people don't want to hear about it. But I'm going to do something. Yes, I'm going to do something. You know what I'm going to do. I'm going to still work on spending and saving some more with the self-control and the boundaries, keeping the projects in motion, still doing the giving and enjoying what I'm doing. I'll try to get this written up in some sort of a little quote, a little mantra or motto or whatever, so that I'll know what to grab and talk about when I review it here in about 3 months and see how we're doing. But that's what we're doing, guys. We're doing a yellow and white collaboration quilt. I'm doing a lot of personal projects. I'm testing out a new way to organize a project. I'm not doing everybody's sew-alongs. What else? What was some of the other ones? Miniature quilts we're going to do. That's probably one of the things that I feel like is really different and shiny and bright. Is I've never done miniature quilts much. You know, I have occasional one, have some here and there, here, you know, the apples, all of that. I enjoyed making those. So let's just do a whole year of those, one a month. And then the long arming possibility. So if you need more questions, got more questions on that, just email me, let me know. Don't ask in the comments about details on that. That's between you and I. So email me on those. All right, are you ready to get going? Another thing that I missed, though, I see here on my list, is the EQ8. What happened with EQ8 is Mark learned EQ8. He learned it. I didn't learn it. And he started his channel, Quilter's Architect, which is in the description box. So that was a big event for 2025. He wasn't expecting to start a channel, but he decided that he would when I said, would you just learn this for me? I wanted him to learn it for me, but he's actually kind of learned it for both of us, and now he's using it for his channel, and I asked him to do things for me too on that front. So we'll see. I don't know if he's going to have a plan for 2026. I guess he'll tell you if he's got one. Or you might just see him when you see him, because, you know, he does work outside the house, and time is limited, all of that. So you'll see him from time to time, I think. All right, so ready to go for a shiny and bright 2026. All the same things, just shiny and bright. I like that, don't you? It's funny, some of the off-the-cuff things we say turn out to be some of the most brilliant things. All right, I'm looking forward to 2026 with you. So stay with me. Make sure you're subscribed. Look right now. You see subscribe anywhere? Resubscribe if you see subscribe, because that YouTube, they unsubscribe you once in a while. I don't know why they do that. So you're going to want to be subscribed and have the bell notifications on, so you're going to know what's going on next year. I'm looking forward to it, looking forward to doing it with you, and we will see you back here on Friday for Finish It Friday. We'll have a quilt show there. If you haven't seen Finish It Friday, you get to see what I've finished for the week and what some of our subscribers have finished for the week. It's a very, very nice show. All right, we'll see you soon. Bye.